It's an exciting time at NASA. We have 2 new commercial crew vehicles in preparation, Dragon and CST-100. We have the SLS rocket getting ready to get ready to launch on EM-1. We have Orion getting ready. Just a tremendous amount of work coming together to really move human presence into the solar system. So we see Space Station, and Space Station is that first step in really getting ready to go into deep space. We learn what it's like to live in microgravity for an extended period of time. We've kept our crews on board for 16 plus years. Just absolutely amazing testimony to the spirit of the human race as we do these amazing things. When you look at this rocket, it looks simple, it looks easy. It's not simple, it's not easy. The work, the hours, the amount of time spent getting this ready for the 2 crew about ready to go fly is just phenomenal. And it's an amazing time to be here at the launch pad.
Dan Hartman, Deputy ISS Program Manager here in Baikonur. Dan, on Yuri Gagarin's launch pad, a Soyuz is finally here, ready to launch in a few days. Tell us a little bit about the decision-making process in the wake of the Progress accident back in December that has made everybody comfortable that you're ready to go.
Sure. Following 65P, there was an anomaly that the teams quickly determined was on the 3rd stage. The Roscosmos formed a commission. We formed a NASA independent team as well. Looked at all the data that we had and very quickly determined the 3rd stage and most likely the turbo pump. And so we tried to understand the scenarios that led to that. Both teams got very comfortable in the end with what we should do to the upcoming engines and how to test those out prior to being installed for the next flight of both the Progress and a Soyuz. We successfully had a 66P engine performance on the 3rd stage. That went beautifully. We reviewed all that data, and then and that's the same batch of engines that'll fly on this Soyuz that you see behind us. We had several reviews, several exchanges of data with our Russian counterparts. We recently went through our flight readiness review, and we got very comfortable with all the information that both teams actually presented to us. The Russian side as well, and so we feel very, very comfortable that we've got a good rocket behind us to go to the space station.
Dan, for a couple of months there will be 5 people on station instead of the typical 6.
Yes.
But the good news, Peggy Whitson's mission extended. She typically does the work of 2 or 3 people on board. How will the time of 5 people be managed by the program and the partnership? And tell us a little bit about the value of Whitson's extension down the stretch until September.
Sure, and that was a great recent agreement that we reached with Roscosmos to instead of Peggy returning on 49S in early June, she'll be returning with this crew, Fyodor and Jack, on 50S in September time period. With all we had that 2-month gap in between with our indirect handover in the summer time period, June and July. And so this will help us fill that gap with certainly 3 crew at that time, eventually back up to 5 after that. But, we have such a frantic pace going on with research right now with the OA-7 launch coming up here tomorrow, and then we'll have a SpaceX 11 launch into May, early June. There's a ton of research on there that we need to be executed by the crew. Peggy is a perfect person to do all that. We've seen her and this crew set records as far as the number of hours per week and the number of hours per increment. Both of those records have been set recently by this crew on board. So with this crew in the crew of 5 time period with the extension of Peggy, I'm sure they'll keep that pace up for research. And then obviously when we're in that indirect handover period with a crew of 3, we have that backup EVA capability in case we get into a contingency scenario where we need to play that out.
Chris Cassidy, NASA's chief astronaut here in Baikonur. Chris, Soyuz rocket behind you, ready for another journey to the International Space Station. Tell us a little bit about Jack Fisher's readiness to launch and how this 2-man crew will do the job of 3.
Well, Jack's definitely ready. I mean, he's been with Fyodor. They've been training full time for quite some time for this very mission with 2 guys. And having spent some time with them in crew quarters these last couple days, I can tell you they are absolutely ready to go. And the training team it's been some unique challenges with a crew of 3. There's just a few jobs that 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 third crew member is responsible for, but they know when after the engine's cut off and they have to come up and kind of divide the tasks up. But they're ready to go and anxious to get going, and it's fun to see a first-time flyer at this stage in the game getting ready to go.